Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife video for you. Today I have a response to an open tag. This comes from Paddy's Potato Peelers. Wee Paddy from across the shuck. In case you couldn't tell by that terrible accent, he lives in Ireland. I love watching his videos, have for a long time. He started just a little bit before me, but we've kept in pretty regular contact over those years, and it's been almost 3 years for me. In November it'll be 3 years. And just a really super nice guy. We don't always have exactly the same taste in knives, but I love watching his channel. If nothing else, I just like the sound of his voice. I grew up with that accent. My grandfather had a hint of it, especially when he'd been drinking. He had a little bit of it, and I just like that accent. I love listening to him talk, and he knows a lot of really great videos, a lot of traditional stuff. He lives in the UK, so obviously a lot of budget stuff. Go check him out. But anyway, the tag is the top 10 knives that got your channel started. And I think that is a great idea for an open tag video. There will be a playlist on his channel if you want to go back, if anybody else does this and goes and watches it. I'm doing it really quick. Can only put this out this morning in my time. And I just wanted to do it because I thought, wow, this is a great idea. I just really wanted to do it. I was very excited to do it. So thank you very much, Patty, for coming up with that. And best of luck to you, mate. And love you. Thank you for doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, a little background. Like I said, 3 years this coming November that I started the channel, and I was not a horribly knowledgeable knife guy when I started. Some of those previous reviews are rubbish, but I've learned a lot, over this time, and I've listened to people and whatever. But and you'll get to this point. It's here coming up. I even ask people like, what knife should I buy? Like off the bat, like I just wanted to know what to get. I really wanted to take this seriously and really work hard at it. And you'll see my progression of stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about each knife as I bring them up and why I still have all these, except for there are a couple that I have more current versions of the same knife, but still have one of them around. So let's get going. This knife you don't see on the channel very much, but it is definitely, if any one knife is responsible for this channel, it is the Spyderco Man X2 lightweight, and this is my original one. This is the knife. I did another video a while ago saying the knife that broke me, and this is the knife that I was like, wow, knives are cool. I'd had like a Tenacious before this and some other little stuff, some CRKTs and whatnot, but this is one that I was like, wow, knives are cool. This is great. I'm in. Like, this is about the time I was watching Nick Shabazz and Nut and Fancy and, Birdshot and all those guys, and thinking, yeah, I'm really into knives. I really like watching these videos. Maybe I could do it. I was carrying this as that was percolating in the back of my mind. And I just really love the Man X2 lightweight. It's just a great freaking knife. And yeah, this is the OG, and it's held up pretty well. It pretty regularly didn't get carried as much because I had all kinds of other stuff in there once the channel got going. But I do still love the Man X2 lightweight. This will never go away because, like I said, I just think I have such an emotional attachment to this knife. It is the knife that broke me, and the reason why this channel exists. So as I started thinking more about doing the channel, I started reaching out to some guys. Love Them Knives was very helpful. Stas 23, other guys who had channels that I watched a lot. And I said, hey, I really want to do this. Like, what knives should I have as benchmarks? Because I always would see in everybody's videos, they compare knives against other ones, size comparisons, whatever. I thought, what should I get? What should I get? What should I get? And I decided to chuck some money into this to get it going. So almost universally, one of their suggestions was always another Spyderco, the PM2. If you were watching this as an aspiring knife YouTuber, yeah, you should probably get a PM2. It's just to experience one, at least get someone to loan you one, so you know something about it. It is one of the most popular EDCs of all time for a really good reason. It's just a great freaking knife. This is not the original one that I had. The original one I had in that first 6 months was the S110B with the blurple scales, which I still will say, if you are going to buy a new production PM2, I think that's the best value you can get. The S110V steel is great, and I like the look of the blurple scales, obviously. I like purple. You might not. It's a bluish purple, hence the name blurple. But this is a Knife Center exclusive crew wear with the smooth G10. And it's the one that stuck around the longest by far. I don't even know how many PM2s I've owned. It may be 6. Wouldn't be shocked if it was a dozen, because of all the dealer exclusives and the distributor exclusives and sprint runs and stuff that have passed through my hands. Man, I don't even know. I have no idea. But this is the one that sticks around. I like it because it does look stock when I do the size comparison videos. You guys know this is like my #1 size comparison knife. I think it's been pretty consistent for like a year and a half, however long I've had it. And it worked great for that, but it's also just a good knife. It doesn't make it in my pocket as much as it used to, but every now and then I remember that I have it, and I bust it out, and I do carry it. Maybe I will today after this, just as a little nostalgia thing. Yeah, PM2, great knife. It's a knife by which a lot of others are judged for a good reason. Awesome knife. So the other one in that same category would be the Benchmade 940. Again, this is not the first one that I had. The first one I had was the REI edition. I lived literally down the street from an REI. So it was the REI edition with the like really dark, almost gray sort of G10 and the purple standoffs. This is a 940-1. My second 940-1 was my second 940 was a 940-1, but not this one. I bought one, I sold one. I got one back again from REI. Those dividends are awesome. But I do really love the 940 a whole lot, and it is another one that's just a benchmark. It's one that you should experience. If you are going to be a reviewer, I think you need to experience a 940, because it's another one that's one of the most popular EDCs of all time with good reason. This one has a bug out deep carry clip on it. I still maintain that as the best clip for the 940. Some people like the longer deep carry clip, but no, I think it's the bug out one, because you don't need more than that. Other people will disagree with me loudly, Super Steel Steve, but it's a great knife. S90V, not my favorite steel in the world. That's part of the reason why I sold my first one. It's a great freaking steel, don't get me wrong, but it takes a long time to sharpen, and I don't enjoy that as much. But this 940 doesn't get used as much as my old one did, because I just have so many other things around now, so I don't really mind if it takes. I just touch it up every now and then, and I don't have to worry about really sharpening like I did. Apparently last time I had it out, I got a little scratchy scratch. Oh well. But really great knife. Again, one that you guys have to experience if you are thinking about starting a channel. Now, next up, let's see which one I want to pull out. I have a list here and I'm looking at them, but I don't know what order I want to do them. And I guess we'll do this one. At first, when I started the channel, I thought that, oh, I'm going to focus on the more well-known names, the more production stuff, more higher-end production stuff, or mid-range, I guess. I was thinking, oh, that $100 to $200 range is what I want to stick into. Not really into budget knives. Other people do it better. I don't want to do it. But there was one budget knife that just blew me away, and I still have it, and that would be the Rake P801. What a cool knife. I mean, this thing was like $30 at the time. It used to have a blue pocket clip on it. It actually technically still does, but I sanded off all the blue. You can still see it a bit on the inside there, because I didn't do the most amazing job at it, but and it's a little bit roughed up, but it's comfortable. The action is great. You've got 14C28 and steel, which I've come to really love. And I just love the P801. It's still a great freaking knife and still a great value. If you can find them, I don't even know if they're still available. I assume so. But yeah, very comfortable. And it definitely has a Sebenza-esque look to it, but it's far enough off I wouldn't even remotely call it a copy. It's a much thinner and all that stuff. But just the Rake P801 SF is a freaking awesome knife, and check one out. They're pretty neat. If you're just looking for something budget that's fun, check one of these out. The next one was also in that kind of budget category, and one of the first knives that I reviewed. Not one of the first, like it was after like a month or two when I started realizing, oh no, I can just do budget stuff. And this knife has a funny story, so that's why I'm bringing it out. This is and I can't believe it's still around. This is the Kershaw Elm Ram AM4, and just 8CR13 want steel, as we call it now, but I didn't know any better at the time. Stainless steel frame lock. It's speed safe assisted, all that stuff, but it has those really cool Almar looks, and I was looking for an Almar when I got this, and I saw, wait, this is $35 or whatever it was at the time, instead of $135. I'm going to give it a shot. And I thought it was really super cool, and I still do think it looks amazing. And this has actually been in my son's quote-unquote collection for a little bit. He loves it. He loves the whole blacked out, you know, Vader look and everything, even though he's left-handed and it's not left-hand carry, but he still likes it. Really nice polished G10. It's a really sexy looking knife, absolutely, for sure. And I thought it was kind of the bee's knees. And the funny story is, I took it to Thanksgiving at my friend's house one time. We do a Thanksgiving with a bunch of our friends. A Friendsgiving, I guess, is what we're supposed to call it if you're a millennial, which none of us are. They're all friends from high school and stuff. And we get together at his house every year. His last name is Crane, and he's kind of a very sarcastic guy. Cranksgiving is what we call it. But I went to Cranksgiving with it, and didn't expect anybody else to have a knife there. And I only see these guys like once a year. So in the meantime, I had started the channel, and the host of the party had noticed that I had the channel. He told some of the other guys, hey, Brian does a knife YouTube review channel now. Cool. And everybody's like, oh, what's in your pocket? And I pulled this out thinking I might look cool. No, I did not look cool. I pulled this out thinking that, oh, it's a really cool looking knife and they'll be impressed. One guy had a ZT-0562, I do believe is one of the Hinderer ZTs. Another guy had a real Emerson. Another guy had a Spyderco Rocks. It was like, what? I was totally out-knifed. The first time anyone had ever asked me what was in my pocket, I was carrying this. And I was completely out-knifed. It's still a cool knife, but I was totally out-knifed. So I always think about that every time I see this thing. Just how dumb I was. I had a 940 at the time. Why didn't I bring the 940? I had a PM2. I had a ZT-0801. Like, I had cooler stuff. Why didn't I bring that? I don't know. Next up would be another budget one, too, that kind of kept me going. And I love this thing. And I wish that Kaiser was doing more with the Tangram line. They've just kind of stopped. But the Tangram Santa Fe was another one that just was like, wow, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Again, these were about $30. I don't know what they go for now, or even if you can get them. But nice thumb studs, as slicey as the day is long. Really good deep carry clip. It's just running on bronze washers. The action is amazing. The Tangram Santa Fe is so cool, and the packaging they come with is so awesome. It's got like a little origami project and stuff that comes in it, and it's it's got like strings that hold it closed and everything. It's just so many things I love about the Tangram line, and I really wish they would do more with it. It just seems to have kind of gone away in favor of their own vanguards. But the Japanese Akuto steel too. By the way, I do like the Akuto steel a lot. It's really nice. Takes an awesome edge, and it's just sharp as the dickens. And oh, I just love the Santa Fe. I don't know why I never carry it. It's just one that's just kind of hung around, and I admit I don't carry it, but I probably should. It's such a great freaking knife. Tangram Santa Fe, look that one up. I'm going to try to link to reviews of these down below, but fair warning, they're old. They're probably terrible, but I'm just letting you know. I'm probably going to wind up with a whole bunch of really nasty comments on old videos saying, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. And next up is a knife that I'm really surprised I got within that first 6 months. I didn't think it was that long ago. I didn't even think that it was out that long ago, but it is one that I had for a while, and I loved and loved and loved, and then I sold it like an idiot, and I went out and got another one, and that would be the Spyderco Little Native. And it is still kind of my benchmark for fifth pocket knives. I talked about benchmark knives before. This is still my favorite fifth pocket knife. I adore this thing. I just did do a top 15 fifth pocket knives, and it won. It's my favorite. Still is. Pricing and everything, they're not horribly expensive, and you can do all the cool, Spyderco stuff. It's a compression lock. They do make a backlock version, and I keep hearing rumors of a slip joint. I haven't seen it. I will definitely get the slip joint when that's out. The backlock one doesn't appeal to me as much, but this one is just, they are so much fun. I just love these little things. And like I said, I sold it, I missed it, I bought it back again, and I think I might get custom scales for it. A few companies make custom scales for it, and I just like this so much. I'm getting more into the scale swapping stuff. I used to always really try and keep stuff stock, but you guys don't really seem to care. So for size comparisons and whatnot. Who cares what the scales are? And I keep the stock ones. I can swap them back for an actual comparison review. But, you know, I've never had lightning strike carbon. I'm kind of thinking about that. I don't know. Something cool for it, because it's just a great knife and it deserves it. So I can't believe I had the little native this long. It really surprised me when I went back to go look. So thank you, Patty, for making me go back and look and realize how long I have been madly in love with the little native. Next up would be, I would say, and we'll save that to second to last. Next up would be a knife that was one of the knives that started to get me some attention. And because I got it pretty early on, just by luck of the draw. I wasn't the first video out for it by any means, but I was out pretty early. And that would be the Steelwill mini cut jack. And this is the exact one that was in that video. Still have it, still love it. Great ergos, very comfortable in the hand. FRN, this is the FRN D2 version, by the way. They also made a M390 Italian, you know, fancy pants bearing one. But this is the one that I still have, and it is still a great freaking knife. Honestly, this knife most of the time lives in my Volkswagen Golf. That's my daily driver at the moment, and it has kind of a, if you drive a Golf, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a thing off to the left, like kind of a sort of quasi hidden compartment, and that's where this lives all the time. And not all the time, but a majority of the time. And I do love it every time I take it out and use it. And every time I take it out and use it, I'm like, man, I should use this more. It's very well broken in. The action on the initial ones was a bit inconsistent. This one's been pretty good. No problem there. It's a bit off center. I think it has been since I got it. I don't remember. But other than that, it's just been a great freaking knife. And I've reviewed a whole lot of Steelwill since this was the first one. And I have a pretty good relationship with the company now, so I get a lot of them early. And this one has just been super cool. I really do like it. Of all their FRN patterns, I find this one the least offensive, and it's just a great knife to use. Really, really enjoy the mini cut jack, and used to be one that I would say if you're a new YouTuber, you should probably get one. Now, I don't know so much. They just kind of fallen off. Steelwill comes out with so many new knives that people kind of ignore the cut jack now, but they shouldn't. Still think it's one of the best things they make, and nobody talks about it anymore. The next one, and second to last, would be, this is the knife that was my first hit. I pulled some strings, as what few strings I could reach at the time, which was mostly calling Love Them Knives and saying, hey, LTK, can I get one of those? And he did it for me, and I wound up being the first like full review on YouTube of one of these, and it was the Ontario Rat Model 2 in D2, the R2D2 as we belovedly call it. And this is one from that first video. I dyed it, not the color I intended to. So this is a bit of an admission of failure too. This is just recently I've gotten into RIT dyeing stuff, and I screwed this one up. It used to be tan. I wanted it to be purple. It came out black. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I literally just dunked it for like 5 seconds and it came out this almost pure black. But I dyed another knife at the exact same time and it came out purple exactly like I wanted it. This one didn't, but oh well. C'est la vie. It still looks all right. And yeah, I got two when I got them. I was being really crazy at the time. I said I have to have the carbon fiber one and one of the G10s, or one of the not G10, FRN. I need a carbon fiber and an FRN. I don't care what color the FRN was, whatever. It came a really light tan. So this is the knife that was in that original video from many moons ago, but now it's a different color. But yeah, the R2D2 is a great freaking knife. The Rat Model 2, period. I did later acquire a Model 1, and I still have that around as well. But the size of this one is really nice. It's very easy to carry. It's great for size comparisons. I use it for that a fair bit. Now when I bring it out, people are going to think, oh, he got the black one. And no, this used to be the tan one. Bri I just screwed up. So don't ever remember that I said Bri. Nobody call me that. I hate that. But only like 3 people on earth are allowed to call me that. But yeah, it's a really cool knife. Super comfortable. And I'll never be without a couple of rats around. I don't have any actual living rats in my house, though. I've never even seen a rat, to my knowledge, which is kind of weird, other than like in captivity. But anyway, wow, that was a weird off-topic ramble, but really, really cool knife. Another one that, if you're starting a knife channel, you should get a rat of some kind, definitely. Model 1, Model 2, OS 8, D2, whichever one, doesn't matter. And the last one, you guys know this one is coming. It was actually in a video this morning at the time that I'm recording this, so this knife is getting more time on this channel today than it's gotten in quite a long time. But it is kind of the mascot of the channel, especially if you've been around since the early days. It is the Cold Steel American Lawman, because it has a song. And I've explained it 1,000 times, but just, that logo looks like a 1980s television show starring Chuck Norris. So I used to always pull it out and say, American Lawman. I think I said it in the first review of it. Baz on Blades wound up writing a song about it and performing it for me, and that's a video that's up there in the archives of the channel. But it was my first Cold Steel, and I really didn't like Cold Steel at the time. It was just kind of like, oh, it's another one I just have to experience. I was like, okay. I asked somebody, I don't remember who it was. I think maybe Stas23. I think it was him. I was like, Kevin Cleary, maybe, I don't remember. I was like, okay, if I got to buy one Cold Steel, which one do I have to buy? And I wasn't even excited about it. And then I got it in my hand, and I love it. And now I have, as that video showed this morning, I've owned 7 Cold Steels, and I have 2 more on the way, and I've owned a lot more other than that. I've probably owned 15 or 20 of them over the years. Great freaking knives. And this is one of the old school XHP ones and the hollow grind and everything. And I really, really like it. The American Lawman is just a great knife, and I can't say it without saying that and without singing the song. And you guys all say that you do it too, so definitely kind of as I drop it, the mascot of the channel. Don't drop your mascot. It'll get angry. But thank you guys so much for watching all this, and thank you so much to Patty's Potato Peelers for putting this on. I really do appreciate it. Go check out his channel, and then you also, while you're there, check out the playlist. I'm sure other people are going to do this. Just kind of gives you an idea of the background of the channel. So everybody have a good one. Stay safe. Wash your damn hands. I've been Brian.